Welcome into the Chasing Trails podcast, brought to you by St. John Trail Running and powered by Resilience Through Fitness. Join two middle-aged dads as they sit down and talk trail running, life, and everything in between. Now, here are your hosts, Geoff LeBlanc and Brandon Thompson. Welcome in, everyone, to an episode of the Chasing Trails podcast. I'm not sure we can call this another great episode of the Chasing Trails podcast, but we're going to do our best today, folks. It's been a week. We've had a lot going on here in Atlantic Canada and across Canada, to be honest. But for those who listen in other parts of the world, we're going through it right now. And so there's a lot of stuff going on, but we'll get into some of that today. Hopefully nothing too controversial. Although when you have my co-host Geoff LeBlanc on any kind of medium, it's going to be controversial, no doubt. Never shy to give his opinion. Yeah, never shy to give his opinion. But hopefully we'll have a maybe a more brief show, but hopefully one that will be enough to kind of keep going. So, Geoff, how are you making out, my man?
Good. I'm tired tonight because I golfed 18 at the Covered Bridge golf course in Heartland this afternoon.
That's right. Hottest day of the year. It's got nothing to hold you back, right? Like you're like the mailman. Like it doesn't matter what the weather, you're gonna go.
It's true. We talked about maybe not going, and then I was like, well, we were gonna walk the course. Let's just get carts, and that'll mitigate some of the heat.
Just get carts, yeah.
It was still disgustingly hot. So yeah, it was. I managed to like find an equilibrium of liquid though. I feel like in this heat. So like I drank a couple liters before I went, and then a couple Powerade during, maybe a cold beverage or two, but I didn't use the bathroom the entire time I was golfing. So and then on the way home, I stopped at the Irving and got a liter of water and a Red Bull because I was tired and feeling it, and knew I had to do this podcast today. So I was like, well, I better be awake when I talked to Brandon at least. So. Anyway, but I also didn't pee when I got home. So like I had just found that I didn't have a headache. I didn't feel dehydrated. So I just must have found this equilibrium of sweat going out and liquid going in, and I feel fine. So
wow.
Swaying the club way more than I ever should. Which is why I don't ever share my score on Strava or in this show. Just know, people, that on a 40-degree day, when you swing the club as much as I did today, it's a tiring event.
Right. So when you were golfing, did you sweat a ton? You must have just been like a puddle the whole time, were you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really notice it. I feel like it was drying as fast as it was coming out.
Oh, because it was so hot, just evaporating?
That's hot. Like, I mean, I was wearing like an Under Armour golf shirt, like I guess I'm right now, so like it's made to like wick the sweat and stuff, so like it seemed to dry almost as fast as it was being sweat out. So yeah, I wasn't like in a puddle of myself. Now if we had been walking, I feel like I'm sure it would have been, and I'm not sure that I could have stayed ahead of the sweat at that point, right? We would have been in bad shape probably.
Yeah. I did go for a run this week. I was away most of a good chunk of last week, and so I didn't get into my training plan as well, but I got back on it, and I went early in the morning, not early enough quite yet, but like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And it just felt like I was running in a sauna. Like you just were breathing in hot air. Like that's how it was. Like you just imagine, like you usually get like a fresh breath. Like there was none of that. It was, and this was like at 8 o'clock in the morning. So it was not a pleasant, 5K. But then, so I was like, holy jumpins, I can't even imagine what it would be like to do it later on in the day. But then I came home from lunch and there was some fool running at noon hour. And I was just like, this is the hottest part of the day. Like, but here you are just running away.
I've seen people out on the way home from work running the Hamwell Road, and I'm thinking like, one, it's a pretty difficult run, at least in one direction, because it's mostly uphill, right? So, whichever way they're either finishing their race or their run or starting it, but either way, they would have done the hill at some point. And you see them running like after work, and you're thinking like, my car says it's 41 degrees. Like this is crazy. I wouldn't make it, a block. It's funny because I think that was on Monday morning when you ran, and I got to work a little early on Monday, and I was like, I'm going to walk down to Starbucks because it's, early. It can't be that hot yet. And I get out of the car and I walk, like, I don't know, it might be 1 kilometer down Starbucks from my office, maybe a little bit more. By the time I got back to the office, I was literally a puddle of sweat sitting in my office because I had long sleeves on and jeans and dress shoes, and so it wasn't like I was dressed for the hot weather either, and dress shirt with long sleeves, and so. I was just sitting there just dripping in my office drinking my coffee.
Oh,
And I was like, I
gee.
don't know if I'm going to dry out today. Time for, my clients that I was seeing. And so
Right?
this is going to be bad. But by 10
Yeah.
o'clock, when the first client showed up, I was dry. I don't know if I smelled good, but I was dry at least. So,
You got to have like a spare deodorant in your office, though, don't you? Do you have like a spare for that? No, Jeff,
I
you got
want
to
to.
have one of those. That's like basic necessities, man. You got to have like a little extra deodorant in there or something, a little body spray or something.
Yeah, I'm going to get the Axe body spray like a 13-year-old and just own it. But you imagine the
Yeah.
crap that I'd get for being in what should be a scent-free environment just coated in Axe body spray.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
no.
you can tell him Brandon
Anyway,
said to
yeah,
do it.
it was
But
crazy hot.
okay,
Yeah,
so let me
I
ask you
don't
this
blame you.
though. Do you think that there's any truth to the statement that like drinking hot beverages on a hot day actually cools you down? Have you heard that before? I've heard
What?
that rumor before and I've never actually tested it.
Yeah.
I should try it right now while it's
The
so hot
theory
out.
behind it is that it like opens your pores, and let's say, I don't know. My dad used to say that a hot coffee after supper on a warm summer day would cool him down. I don't know. He's a crazy Frenchman. Like, who knows? Sorry. There we go. Just kind of scare him. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a wife oh one's tale, right? Like, I have no idea if it's true or not. I don't know if it's true. That'd be like saying drinking cold beverages in the wintertime warms you up. Like, to me, that makes no sense.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just something about the temperature of the beverage that makes a difference or not. But yeah, I'm going to try it because I don't stop drinking hot coffee in the summertime. Like I'll still drink
But
a
do you
hot
feel like it
coffee.
cools you down? Like,
I
when I
don't
was
pay
sitting in
attention
my office,
enough.
yeah, when I was sitting in my office in a ball of sweat drinking a coffee, I don't feel like it was cooling me down any.
Fair enough. That's probably
Yeah,
true.
yeah, I don't think so. But I don't know.
It's also like I think the same premise would apply to like hot showers. I don't really take hot showers in the summertime because it just makes you sweat even more. And so I take cold showers, but I imagine the hot coffee would do the same thing. I think it just makes you sweat more. And maybe that's what cools you down. Like that's how you get cooled down is it makes you sweat, but
Maybe it
I
just
don't
makes your
know.
skin feel cool because of the wetness on your skin.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you're right. There's nothing better than like a lukewarm shower in the
Yeah.
summertime, right? Just
Yeah.
cold enough, like almost like the temperature of a nice pool.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Just
Do you ever play like chicken with the cold water? Like sometimes I'll like just
oh
stick
yeah,
my head under the tap, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna turn it a little bit, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit
yeah,
more to see how cold I can get it before I'm
yeah.
like,
Lots of times.
whoo, yeah,
Yeah, lots of times I'll go and I'll just keep making it colder and colder as I go through my shower, and see how cold I can get it before I can't stand it anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
part
don't
of the fun.
understand people any time of the year who like crank the hot water and come out looking like a lobster. Like I hate that. It's not my thing.
I mean, in the wintertime, I don't mind a hot shower, but in the summer, it's like basically I'm just using water for its cleansing purposes, not to relax or anything like that. So it's cold for me. But well, regardless of how you take your showers, we've got a couple of things to talk about tonight. And the first is that we are living in some wild times right now. So in Atlantic, Canada, we are experiencing like record drought. Like we haven't had rain all summer. It feels like periodically we'd have it. But my yard, case in point, is like walking on like seashells or something like that. It's just so crunchy and crispy, like it just crunches underneath your foot. And so we've got these dry temperatures, hot temperatures, and we're also seeing forest fires starting to pop up. And I'm sure most of our listeners are no stranger to the some of the rules that have been put in place and about staying out of the woods, which has been a very controversial move, to say the least, by the Nova Scotia government and New Brunswick government. Do you notice that PEI hasn't said anything? Like, did PEI do anything?
Yeah, I
They're like,
don't know.
we don't care. They're just like, we don't care. As long as the end's protected, we're fine. That's how they
It's
feel.
protected. They don't have that many forests there. They have mostly potato fields, so you're not allowed on them
Right.
anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
guessing. I shouldn't say that. I don't. I'm sure PEIS forests. It's like, yeah. As a per capita, maybe they don't have many fires going up too.
Maybe,
I don't know.
maybe.
I mean, we have a fair amount
And
here. So.
Newfoundland as well has kind of closed everything down. And so that has caused a weird vibe in the whole trail running community. It's very
Beginning of the
similar.
climate lockdown.
Yeah, so that's what they're calling it, the climate lockdown. We have to stay out of the woods. We can't enjoy it at all. And then it's created these weird, like, COVID-y kind of feelings to it, right? And my goodness, Geoff, I think I barely made it through the COVID years myself. I don't know if I'm ready to go back to those kind of
Do it again. Yeah.
weird times again. But it's very much how it feels, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's I mean, my Instagram is just riddled with some pretty extreme views on the whole thing. I get it. As soon as you tell someone not to do something, they just want to do it that much more. Or that's how my psyche works. Like, I don't know about everyone else, but like we were talking about this the other day as a family because we were just talking about it. I mentioned how it's not that big of a deal, but as soon as you tell people just stay out of the woods, they'll just immediately be like, "Well, I want to go in the woods," right? Now they're gonna. It's almost better if the government said nothing because now they're gonna have twice as many people being like, "Well, screw you guys, I'm going in the woods," and I get that because I feel the same way. Because that's what I want to do now
Right.
is go running in the woods. I get it. You shouldn't tell me what to do. I'm free. But yeah, like is what it is. So um, it's just funny that this is kind of where we're at in society, right? But it is dry, man. Like I was telling you before we logged in that, today when I was golfing, like I don't hit the ball that well, and I certainly don't hit it super far. But it was like golfing on a highway. When you think of like golf courses, like generally you think of like rough and long grass, and the fairways are all green. Well, like the fairways were brown, and
Yeah. Yeah.
when the ball hit the ground, it was like it would run forever because it was like hitting a sidewalk. Like that's how dry golf courses are. Places that have irrigation systems to wet down their stuff. So like it is no question that things are insanely dry right now,
Yeah.
anywhere. So
Yeah. And we are
at the end
seeing
of the
some
day,
crazy fires too. I mean, we're seeing forest fires all over the place now. I saw a picture from our friends at the 3 Mile Outfitter,
mm,
and they saw like the forest fire that's in Bears Lake, and just how close that is. It's a complicated issue, especially when you have people who feel like you shouldn't be able to tell someone what they could do, or you have people who are serving like or working with DNR or firefighters, volunteering firefighters who are all over the place trying to put these things out. So
I
it's a
mean,
crazy time.
we literally have people living in the woods in some cases, in some cities
Yeah.
that are, it's not safe, obviously, and so what do you do about that, right? At the end of the day, and so that's a challenge in and of itself that you can't really control. So there's, forest fires are, like you said, happening closer to cities for various reasons. But there was one in Fairton today, just behind the Canadian Tire at Two Nations Crossing, and like there's subdivisions like right in there. Now I don't know how close to the Canadian Tire it was. When you look at the picture, you see the smoke coming up behind the Canadian Tire. You think, well, it could be pretty close to right, in the downtown core of the north side, but maybe it was further off into the woods. I don't know, but
Yeah.
either way, yeah,
But I think
we
you're
can't go run
exactly
in the woods. So
I think you're exactly right though, that the more you tell people not to do something, the more it's going to happen. Like it's just human nature, right? Like tell someone you can't do something and they're going to want to do it right away.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
so regardless, we can't run in the woods right now. So for
Unless you have a big private piece of land,
yeah,
then
unless you got a
then
private
okay.
space, hey,
Yeah,
that's awesome. You've
yeah,
uh, you've won the jackpot for the next foreseeable future. But
yeah.
which makes talking trails a little bit tricky when you can't actually go trail running.
Right.
Um,
Well,
eh,
especially when you probably were going to talk about Capes 100 that got canceled.
Yes,
Then
that's right.
also maybe talk about the Campobello Coastal Trail that's was supposed to happen in a week and a half or whatever it was, real close. It's also canceled.
Yeah,
But there's still some good news stories coming out of those, right?
yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we get some rain and no other races get canceled, but it is what it is.
Yeah, there is one cool story we just want to share with you out of the Capes 100 getting canceled, and just I know that a lot of people were planning on doing that as like their big A race or whatever for the summer. But we had someone on Instagram, Nico, was sharing this story with us. Let me just read it to you. A big shout out to Ashley and Rob Doyle, who were supposed to do the 100 miler at Capes 100. And so what they decided to do though with the trail ban was they decided to pivot and go run a 9 kilometer loop in Grand Pre in this farmer's field, and had like the little aid station set up at one of the campgrounds that they have there. And they were able to get their 100 miles in doing that 9K loop, which is pretty amazing considering the heat that was in there,
Yeah,
and just being running in a in a farmer's field, right? Isn't that wild? So
wild.
congratulations to the Doyles. That's an amazing accomplishment. So shout out to them.
Yeah,
I wish
absolutely.
I had that kind of ingenuity to pivot that well. I don't seem to be able to do it that well.
And then here I am complaining about the heat on the golf course today
Yeah, that's right.
in a golf cart.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, so trail runners are resilient. They're a resilient bunch, and it's pretty cool to hear what we are doing instead. And so that's what we wanted to spend a little bit of time doing tonight, was just talking about how people are changing and adjusting their training to kind of compensate for not being on the trails. And so we put that out on Facebook, or not on Facebook. Such a boomer, on Instagram, and we got quite a few responses. And so I want to just read off a couple of them. A lot of people were just saying, "Hey, listen, we're just going to run on the road," and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. It's not ideal, but you get through it, I guess, and that's kind of what you got to do. Um, Adam Tremblay said doing Renshaw repeats. And if you don't know, Renshaw is this crazy hill in Rosse, and it's probably some of the highest vert you can get, like without going onto hills. Like it's just a road, and so just doing that consistently. So that's one option you can do. You can go down to Rosse and hit that up.
It's an option, and when you get really hot, you can just keep running down the hill right into the wharf area
That's
and
right.
be off the end of the wharf. Because I'm pretty sure that's the road that runs up by the golf course. So the
Yeah, it
wharf is like
is. Yep.
right. So you can just like jump off the wharf when you want to kill yourself or cool off, whichever comes first. The good news for me is that with Achilles tendinopathy, it's not recommended to run hills. You're supposed to try to stay flat as possible. So now I found out I read about that after my run at Woolstock last week when I did like 400 meters of vert in 12 kilometers. That which isn't anything crazy, but it's enough, and it hurt me really bad. Then I realized, oh, I'm supposed to try to maybe not run as much vert right now to try to deal with that healing. So anyway, so I can't do it anyway. Sorry,
Oh shucks, eh? Like
you'll have to
darn
go
it.
with Adam. Yeah, Adam can take you out to Renshaw, and you guys can
Yeah.
do repeats. I'll bring ice cream or something.
Listen, I just need something to kind of motivate me to get to the top. Once I get to the top, going down's okay, but I need like a donut or like a cinnamon bun
Ooh, ice
or
cream.
something like that. Ice cream. It'll melt, but as long as you can keep it
That's right.
cold.
That's
You got a
You gotta go
Yeti
faster.
or something. Oh, that's right.
Quicker you get up the hill, the more likely you are to get a scoop of ice cream that's not melted.
That's right. Instead of like cold milky cream.
Right.
But speaking of water, though, Michelle Brent was talking about riding her stand-up paddleboard. So, like using your stand-up paddleboard. I mean, that's a great way to get some of that upper body strength and be able to stay cool anyway, enjoy the warm weather, I guess, and be able to have some fun that way. So that's a good suggestion. Have you ever been on a stand-up paddleboard before,
I
Geoff?
have. Yeah, I have. I was just thinking, like, do you think that there's enough stress on your feet to actually like build the muscle in your feet like those balance boards that people use?
Yeah, I'm
Like that
sure
might
that's the
actually
same as
be an
like one of
excellent
those
cross training.
WOSU boards or whatever. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, and like your stability, like all those like ankle things and everything else, that'd be right up there. Yeah, I bet you. And a lot of bike riders, and so it seems like if you aren't a runner, you're a bike rider, or like bike riders are just injured runners. You know, like that just seems to be kind of how they flow together. I'm not ever gonna ride a bike. I don't think it just is not my thing. I do not like it whatsoever. It is just
You
the
just gotta
least
get the
enjoyable
right,
thing.
you gotta get the right bib shorts so your crotch doesn't hurt. You gotta just, get used to the sore butt for a couple days, then it goes away. I think I saw an Instagram and a Strava that Mark and Amber and Cody and Tim did like 40 some K out of the Kingston Peninsula tonight or today in the Heath on their bikes. So it's an option.
It is an option. It's a bad option, but it is an option, I guess.
Is that because you have a crappy bike though, too? Like,
Well, it's all of the things. It's because I got a crappy bike. It's because it hurts my butt. It's because I find it boring and I'm afraid I'm going to get run over by a car. It's add all those things together, and I'd rather be fat and sit on my couch than ride a bike. That's how I feel. That's how strongly I feel about riding a
okay,
bike.
all right,
So
you're not getting on the bike.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I get old and I have to sit in a wheelchair, because I'm sure I'm going to feel the same way about wheelchairs. Like I would just hate being pushed around on wheels. Like that's just no thanks. I'll pass on that. There's no history. Do you know what though? There is a story. Let me tell you this story. We got time.
We do.
I'm going to tell you a story about the time, and this is probably where all of my bike trauma came from. Okay. So, when I was in grade 5, my parents bought me a new 18 speed bike. And so it was kind of like a gravel bike. It had like the smaller tires, but not a mountain bike and not a road bike. And so it was pretty cool. Nice green color. And there was a girl I had a huge crush on when I was in grade 5. And, she was friends with my next door neighbor. And I noticed out my window that my next door neighbor and her were playing in their yard. We're hanging out in their yard. And so I thought to myself, this is the time when I will impress this girl and show off with my new bike, right? Because my new bike will win me the girl. That's what I thought. And so I had it all planned out in my mind. I lived on a hill. And so I was going to go around the neighborhood and come down the hill and like hit the brakes. It's like front brakes. And so I'm used to back pedal brakes, but this is the first time I get the front brakes, skid to a stop, kick up some dirt. And when the dust settles, there I am. And I'm just going to be like, hey, how's it going? Like that was my line. I was rehearsing it while I was biking and everything. It was going to be good. So I follow through with my plan. I go around and I come around the top of the hill. I come down. And like I said, I'm not used to the front brakes. And so I only hit the front brakes and I flip over my bike. And this is a brand new bike. And so I'm not going to like just let it go. And so I hold on to the handlebars and I whip the whole bike over top of my head. So I do like a 360 flip with the bike. It goes over. I land on my back and my arms are still connected to my bike and it flings over and the seat comes and hits me right in the balls and smokes me with the seat of the bike. And I'm lying there.
My head.
I'm lying there in the fetal position, just like, oh, and the girls come over to check on me and make sure I'm okay. And I just had to like brush it off as best I can. And the chain fell off. And so I'm just like dragging my bike back into my driveway and I close the door and that was it. I never got another shot with, this girl that I liked. I ended up doing better. I ended up marrying Natalie, but it was not a good scene with my 18 speed bike. And I don't think I've ever enjoyed a bike since then. So there's the story. That's the trauma. There's probably some history there that I need to unpack, but it ain't going to happen anytime soon.
That's quite the story. That is quite the story,
Yeah.
You've had a fair bit of trauma with trail running, but you stick with that.
That's true, I guess.
Yeah.
But I haven't been hitting the balls yet trail running. So I guess anyway, we'll leave it at that. Okay, some other things. Ann Daly recommended running on the beach. Now, I think this is a great idea because not only are you going to stay cool, you're right by the water. Running on the sand is like wicked good training. and it works all sorts of different muscles. It's hard, but it's a great option as well. So they haven't closed the beaches yet. So that's
Well, if you spark up a fire, there's water very close by. So yeah,
that's
it
right.
should be
But we're
fine.
not going to start fires, Geoff. Like that's irresponsible. We have
Yeah,
to
that's right.
be good
I think the problem
citizens.
is we were worried about me running too fast, creating sparks.
Oh, I see. That's what you're saying. Oh, all right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, any trail running, that's always our problem, making sure that we don't light fires with our speed.
Right. They were
Um,
specifically canceling the woods for us.
that's right. That's exactly. They're like, if you know what, if just Geoff and Brandon stay out of the woods, we should be fine. But just keep them out, and we should have taken one for the team. Lots of people going to the gym, strength training. Crystal talks about here. She's going to the gym to kind of work on some of that cross training stuff. Lots of also triathletes. This is your realm. Like a lot of people are doing the whole, hey, listen, we can't do the running aspect of training right now, so let's do the swimming, let's do the biking, and we'll go from there, right? So is that what you're doing, Geoff? Have you been kind of getting more water work in and biking?
I mean, sure. Yeah. Um, I hit the golf ball in the water a lot. Does that count? No, I haven't gotten out to swim some laps, and I do enjoy it. So that will be something that I continue to do, and so yeah, I probably will do a little bit more of that. I haven't gotten my bike out all year actually, and I didn't get it out much last year either. A couple years ago, I biked a lot with it, but I haven't had it out at all. It's been hanging in the garage, and so yeah, I should get out on us, but honestly, the heat keeps me inside right now, which is lame, but it's an easy excuse too with the Achilles stuff because the treadmill feels good. Everything else hurts so afterwards. So we were joking about the taper starting for Looney Loops really early last week, but it's possible
It's
that
not wrong.
I'm just gonna try to keep it light and easy, and then I'm gonna go see if I can't wreck myself one last time this summer. Looney Loops, and then go from there.
Give her one more hoorah and see how it goes.
Yeah. When you see me limping away from Looney, it's because I did too much.
Right. Well, I've never known you to push yourself and do too much, Geoff. So I guess that would be pretty
Be
par for the
surprising.
course. I'm being sarcastic. Like that's the story of your life is usually kind of how that goes. But it is one of those things where we just kind of have to be like our situation now. We just have to adjust and do what we can and try and keep maintaining some level of fitness, even in the midst of all the craziness that's going on. So that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, I think that's all we got today, Geoff. Like, do you got anything else, man?
I
I
don't
know.
know. I don't know. It's hard to talk about trail running when you're not on the trail run.
And then this week has just been like one of the hardest weeks for training, like just between the heat and things being shut down, and you just kind of keep going and do what you got to do, right?
That's right.
So
Do what you got to do.
that's right. So, anyways, folks, next week I promise our episode will be better. We're gonna have a guest from, maybe it's not next week, but 2 weeks from now. We're gonna have Liz Myers, who is from Florida. She's gonna come talk to us and share a little bit from her podcast, The Tribe of Runners, and we're gonna get to hear from her. And we promise we'll have a little bit more to say than we do today.
We'll find something to talk about.
That's right. So we'll leave our complaining at the door for now, and everyone, whatever you can do, keep on chasing the trails. You may not be able to actually chase any trails this week, but chase the road, chase the bike, chase the water, chase the beach. 1,